Hey, what's up? This is Disney 67 here, and I'm going to do a movie review of two movies. The second one is the sequel that I'm going to talk about, but first I'm going to talk about the original movie, and it is, of course, Mannequin, which is a 1987 romantic fantasy comedy starring Andrew McCartney and Kim Cattrall. And it tells the story about this guy called Johnson Switcher, played by Andrew McCartney, who is a he's a young guy. He works as a mannequin maker in Philadelphia, or is it Pennsylvania? Philadelphia. And he goes from job to job to job because he's too much of a perfectionist. And of course, one day he gets a job position at Prince and Co. company, which is like a big, huge department store, and he stumbles across this mannequin who he actually met himself. But of course, when he's all alone, she magically comes to life, and her name is Emmy, played by Kim Cattrall. And the reason why she comes to life is because she was an Egyptian princess who was who like transported to the modern day times to find love, and of course she ends up becoming this mannequin that Andrew's character Jonathan can like see it when no one else can. Um, yeah, I know what you're thinking. The plot of this movie is silly. To be quite honest with you, the plot is silly, but I'm gonna go to what I like with this movie. The chemistry between the two characters is very good. I thought Kim and Andrew had a great chemistry in this movie. The premise, like I said, is stupid, but you know what? It's still a feel good movie. It's got great music from Starship that's on Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Um, is a Dream About Me by Belinda Carlson. Yeah, it's a really feel good movie. It's like what 34 years old now, but still like one of my favorite films. I've actually remembered seeing this movie, like watching as a child. So I grew up with this movie. I think the showstopper for me is definitely Hollywood, played by Marsha Taylor, who is also in the sequel, which I'll get to in a few minutes. But yeah, overall, I give this movie a 6 out of 10, which is like 60%. I enjoy it. You know, I've always loved this movie. It's on for like what a whopping half an hour and a half, but I still like this movie. So yeah, that's my review of Mannequin. Now on to the sequel. Okay, the sequel to this is kind of slightly different because you got this like princess called Jessie, played by Kirsten Swanson, who wears like this necklace, and it turns her like it petrifies her. And of course, we cut to the present day and we meet this guy called Jason, played by William Ragsdale, who of course works in the same department store as Andrew's character did in the first movie. He's like Johnson Switcher as well, which was Andrew McCartney's character. He's kind of like a slacker as well. Um, and of course, he stumbles the mannequin, which is like Jessie now, and of course he took off her necklace and she's alive. And she assumes that this guy, what's his name? I've written it down my notes, sorry. Jason is her beloved prince. I forget the name of the prince in this movie. And he's of course playing two parts by the way, and she assumes that he is her true love, the prince, but he was a reincarnation of him. Yeah, it's all double dutch. It's all silly. We also have Hollywood, who is in the first movie. He's in this one as well. And there's one particular scene where he like puts on the necklace and he gets frozen. There's also these like two dim-witted German guys and this other guy who's got like this really annoying black little mole in his thing. I forget the guy's name. He's like the villain in this movie because in the first movie it was James Spader and this other cop. So yeah, what I think about this version of Mannequin, it's not as good as the first movie, in my honest opinion. It's so silly, and I give it a 5 out of 10. which is like 50%. Yeah, it's a silly movie, like its predecessor, but I prefer the original movie by far. I owe both of them on my USB. So yeah, that's my review of both Mannequin and the sequel. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you seen the movie? What you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And till next time, take care.